Greetings and welcome to the Thirsty Mage, the virtual pub enjoying a cold and snowy day nestled against the warming glow of a CRT television. I'm your host David Lloyd, and this episode we continue to reminisce about the past by looking back on those wonderful days where Mother Nature gave us a day from school to snuggle up to our favorite console or PC and just enjoy a wonderful 24 hours. Here with me is a man who, along with myself, wishes every day was a snow day. It's Casey Gibson.
Hello. Well, it's funny. Here in South Carolina, we've got snow for a second consecutive year. I moved down here in 2018 and it didn't snow for the first, 6 years? And then, 2025 and 2026. Yep, we got, I looked at least an inch and change out there, which all things considered, it might put down the city for at least 2 days.
Yeah, we call that noon up here.
Well, yeah, even in New York, I always, like last year, it was a pretty good amount of snow last year. And I think I didn't go to work for 3 days. There's just no plows,
Yeah.
I was like, this would have been cleaned up by noon back in New York. And down here, people are like, bah.
I guess nobody puts their snow tires on when December comes around down south.
Nope, but they make sure to throw blankets over the plants.
Yeah.
It's so funny. In New York, it's like, whatever. They die, and like down here, everyone's like, bah, get your sheets and your blankets for the poor shrubs out there.
Yeah, I know this year's been particularly snowy. We started getting snow in November. Usually you're pretty good. Like we don't always get a white Christmas up in Ontario where I am. But we usually are pretty, we'll see it by early January for sure. But this year it started snowing in November, and I thought to myself, no way that this is going to stay. We usually get a snow and then it'll melt, and then the real snow will come. But this year it's been real consistent snow since about mid-November. So it's we're pretty deep into it now. It's been a long couple months. And snow days in general are just kind of a different monster than when we were kids, because now when it snows too much to go out onto the roads, I unfortunately just have to work from home. It's all my work stuff is accessible basically anywhere with an internet connection. So it's not a snuggle up with my console day. It's work in my pajamas day. Which is also good in its own
still
respects,
better.
But still better. But
that was funny. I saw New York. Obviously, I used to live there a lot for a long while, and I saw the new mayor of this New York City was like, yeah, well, it might be snow, but you're going to be doing virtual learning, and I was like, oh, this guy stinks. Like, those poor kids, dude. Imagine like we get a snow day and they're like, nope, you got to jump on Zoom and do some worksheets.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a different world since COVID. Now everything's in place. That there's no hiding anymore. There's no, you can't just stay home and be disconnected. Like
it's a shame.
It's not as fun. Well, even back in the day for me, I grew up literally across the street from my school. So it had to be a particularly bad snow day for me to miss school, because there was always, like, up here there was snow that would stop the buses, but the schools would still be open. So I was stuck having to go to school. Usually that just meant it was like me and two other kids in our class.
See, that's crazy, because that was growing up for me. We benefited that our school district included like a really hilly town, like really bad, like steep hills. So sort of the I guess the barometer for us was like, if the buses couldn't come pick you up, school was going to be canceled. So, we, like I said, it would get really hilly and then icy and slippery up in, it's called Centerport. And yeah, so like, we were like, sweet, they're not going to be able to get to center port, you know? And then I don't know how you guys did it back in the day, but for us, it'd be like you turn on the news and you would watch, and they just have like on the bottom, like a ticker, right? That it would just say all the school districts, or not all of them, any cancellations or delays would be there, and you'd have to wait and you'd have to wait. And like, come on, baby, where's Harbor Fields? Come on, where is it? And then all of a sudden you'd have to pray that it was closed. And now it's funny. I follow my high school, I guess, on Instagram, and like the other day I saw they had a snow day, and it like tweeted it out like or whatever, made a post at like 8 o'clock at night, and I was like, I mean, obviously it would be nice to know the night before, but there was something magical about normally I would sleep until like 10 minutes before the bus came and then rush and get down there, but not on a snow day. You'd be up at like 6 a.m. like, I better pop on the news, please, Jesus, like, don't have school today.
For me, because I'm an old guy and I went to school pre-internet, I found out when it was a school day when I showed up to school and the doors were locked.
Oh my
Just,
goodness. Yeah, that's crazy. They didn't put it on the news?
I don't know. Like I'm probably, maybe, I don't know, but like I live so close to both my elementary school and my high school that I don't know if my parents even bothered.
Yeah, they just
Usually, my dad was like, wait, he was gone for work like well before I had to go to school, um, and my mom started working at some point during, I think, elementary school or something like that. So usually they were just like gone. So I just so for elementary school, it was right across the street. So I would just like uh, I lived on. It was this weird situation where it was like I lived on a hill, and I was like one of the houses at the very top of the hill, and then the school was like across the street, but it was like downhill. So I kind of like jumped over a fence to go down into the schoolyard, and then I'd like walk over to the school and start tugging on the door, and it was like, oh, I guess it's a snow day. So I just walk back to the house, call one of my parents to be like, yeah, I'm home today, and yeah, it was just me hanging out at the house playing video games.
Were you ever a bad boy who didn't actually go look, but then told them that it was a snow day?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You dirty dog.
Yeah, it was a few times. It was funny. I was actually I almost died on a snow day too. There was, because so on our hill, I had this driveway that was extremely it had a very very nasty like a drop, like it was uphill, like so our house was up a bit, and then you went downhill to the street or whatever, and there was one snow day where it was more of an ice day, and I wasn't paying too much attention, so I'm walking down my driveway and my feet go out from under me and I'm just sliding all the way down
You're at the mercy of the ice.
at the mercy of the ice. And so I'm like going towards the street, and I'm like very concerned I'm about to get run over by a car,
Oh my
and
goodness.
there was a car coming. but but thankfully somebody had parked in front of our house, and I literally grabbed the tailpipe of the car before I got run over.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Dang.
it's burned into my brain, the whole experience, because like I was toast. Like I would have been underneath the tire for sure. Like it was the like I just remember grabbing that tailpipe and holding on for dear life, and I don't know how, like I was extremely close to the car because it's like a very narrow street. There's only like one car can go down at a time. That it was a frightening adventure.
Ay
Um,
caramba. Yeah, that sounds terrible.
yeah, but thankfully for that. I don't know what it was. Like I think it was like a Chrysler K car or something. It had its tailpipe sticking out just enough for me to grab it. So
Yeah, talk about life flashing before your eyes, and then you got to go home and play video
yeah,
games.
I was gonna say that I was so traumatized that I just went inside and hung out at the house. Like, sorry, near
Yeah.
death experience. I must play my Nintendo again before.
I don't
Uh,
know if school is canceled, Mom, but I almost died, so I'm not going in.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I tell you what, if my parents were both gone before I went to school, I would have had attendance issues. Yeah, I was a turd getting up for school back in the day. My mom would be like, "God dang it, Casey, get up!"
Yeah. Well, that was even before they would even call. Like, I spent most of my school years. It wasn't really until my last couple years of high school where if you didn't show up, they would call the house and leave a message. And even then, it was pointless because it's like I'm the one that's home.
Yeah, you could
so
delete it. Yeah.
so yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm picking up the phone, and then it's like, just letting you know your son is not at school today. Thanks, and then just hang up.
Yeah, my dad worked overnights, so he would be home. Like he would, when I went up and went to school, he'd be sleeping. Um, but yeah, if I were to stay home, he would be home. And then my mom for I guess until I'm trying to think, probably high school. Before high school through middle school, she wasn't working. Because my sister's like 7 years younger than I am, so uh, so she would, she didn't work for the longest time, and then eventually she would work. But actually, it was great because like she would work at 9, and our school started at 7:40 was the first class, so I would always have her. Like I said, I was a turd. So like in the morning, I'd be like, oh, I missed the bus. Oh crap, And I'll be like, can you just drive me in when you go to work, Mom? I don't have anything important the first two classes. It's like gym and something else. And like I had math. Um, and then I'd be like, well, just drop me off. I'm going to grab an egg sandwich and I'll walk to school, because like the town was just down the road. So she would do that. And then, then I'd take my sweet time to make sure I missed all of math. And then I would show up after that. But yeah, yeah, now we're just talking about playing hooky. So
Yeah.
illegal hooky versus our legal snow hooky.
Yeah, back in the day when we didn't have a phone in our pocket that tracked our every movement, like
I forget. So what year did you graduate high school?
that would be. I
If
wanted.
if you're if you're okay with sharing that information, you
I'm
old
pretty sure.
bag.
I know. It's pretty sure it was either 99 or 2000 because I would have started elementary school probably in 86 or 87, I guess it was, and then elementary and high school would have been from like 86 to I want to say 2000 because I'm pretty sure I was in my first year of university in 2001.
Mm.
So yeah, it was again like all pre. I guess the internet would have been around, but I really wasn't doing any online gaming in
They
high
didn't
school.
have it up in the sticks in Canada yet, right?
No, it was pretty rudimentary back then. So for my early years, it would have been my Nintendo. I would have just been playing like the games I owned on my original Nintendo, and then it would have been from there. I would have graduated like around high school days. I guess my high school years would have been the Nintendo 64 and my PC. Those were I would have spent most of my hours at that point. So that's kind of where the generations of consoles I was in when I was playing hooky. Um, how about you? What consoles were in front of you when you got to stay home and enjoy a fun day?
So I graduated high school in 2007. Um, so for me, yeah, like my prime years would have been like my early snow days, like the earlier memories I can think of were like the N64, and then GameCube. And then yeah, so I got a Wii my senior year because I finally had a job. And I could buy it myself. That was my first console I got on launch day, where normally it'd be like hoping to God I got it for Christmas. Um, but yeah, in terms of snow days, would have been big time would have been N64, GameCube, and yeah, it's funny. I associate a lot of my snow days with PC gaming, mainly. Not always. 'Cause like I said, I was playing on both, but um, you know, definitely played a lot of PC gaming. Like I can vividly remember my old house, down in the basement, sitting in the caddy corner um, desk that was huge, and then just playing the crap out of like Diablo and what you call it, Command and Conquer and stuff like that. Like really resonates with when I think of a snow day.
Yeah, it's funny. Command and Conquer is probably the thing I remember most about snow days myself because I think that would have came out. I think it was like 96. The first Command and Conquer came out.
See, I think of Red Alert when I think of Command and Conquer. I think of Red Alert.
Oh,
That's
okay, so
that's my Command and Conquer, and I'm looking that came out
that's
in
98.
'96.
Oh, that Red Alert's 96. Okay. So I bet you. So the first Command and Conquer would have been 95, I'd
Yep.
imagine.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking at the wiki. Yeah.
because I
And
was
it's
thinking.
funny that
Yeah.
I mean they're both iconic covers, but like that original Command and Conquer cover is so iconic. Like to me, it's like I just see it. It's like so nostalgic. Like oh my god, dude, we got. I know we plan on at some point for a game. Oh, excuse me, game club. But we definitely got to get back into some Command and Conquer, and that would be fun to be able to like play against people as well, like some online skirmishes.
Yeah, well, that's funny. It's like, so I know there's through RetroArx, you can get it's called DOSBox, and I was working on getting Command and Conquer like the OG one set up through that, just for that retro feel. But then Steam had like this massive sale on the whole like basically all the Command and Conquers are on there, and you can. I think I ended up getting them all for like $20 or something. Like it was pretty dirt
And
cheap.
I haven't played them since.
No, not really. That's the worst part. Is like had them all on there for what like at least a year, if not a couple years now. I've dabbled in them, and my son's played. I think he played the OG one. But yeah, I really got to get back in there and watch because especially Red Alert. Like Red Alert has like I just love the movie scenes in between the missions and stuff. And
Oh, yep.
yeah,
So good. And then I'm looking at it like, oh, Red Alert 2. So that came out in 2000. I think that might have been the Command and Conquer I put the most time into, at least that I can remember. Um, oh my gosh. Yeah. The UMVs, right? No, is that what they're called? Not UMVs. The cut scenes with like the real acting. I forget the acronym. Um,
oh yeah. FMVs.
FMVs, that's it.
Yeah.
And then you got Tim Curry in there, like amazing, like oh, that's so Tim Curry, dude. What a
Yeah.
G.
Yeah, and I can't imagine he paid him much for that. It probably was just like he happened to like live by the studio or something. It has to be like
I
and
almost
he
wonder it's like was he
joined him.
that or like was he a fan of the games or you know what I mean? And he was like got in touch, like yeah, I'll do it.
I'm going with he probably just was like somebody called him out of the blue and he's like, yeah, I got nothing to do this Saturday. Why not?
I'm free. Yeah, I need to buy some brewskis this weekend. I'll
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, I could use a keg or two if you guys want to drop that off afterwards, and
Yeah, they didn't even pay him in cash.
we'll call it square. Yeah, I'm sure it was. And it was kind of like a lull in his movie career, I think, too, because I remember like he had that early stuff like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but then I feel like there's a bit of a lull until like I don't know what it would have been 2000s. The thing I remember him coming back was like I think he was like the bad guy or one of the bad guys in Charlie's Angels, like that reboot movie.
See, for me, when I always think of him, I think of, I mean, obviously, right, he had the smaller role in Home Alone 2, but I think of, whatchamacallit, oh God, now I'm
Clue?
like, it.
Oh, it, yeah.
Um, and I feel like he was so epic in it.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so
Really? Oh, well,
yeah.
I forgot you're a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. He's a really convincing Pennywise.
Okay, that's funny.
Like that's where like when I think that might have been the first thing I really recognized him from. Like, oh my god, like he's so creepy, dude.
Well, it's funny. In preparation for this show, I was going through. I still have a lot of my old PC games, um, like the actual discs. I wish I had kept more of the boxes.
Oh, when there were the big boxes too.
Yeah, like I'm holding one now, and I don't know why of all games this is the one I kept, but I have a Jane's Combat Simulations for the FA18 simulator, and it's like it was such a fun game back in the day. I remember. So like it's basically just like a fighter jet game where you're flying around in an F-18. And it's funny because I remember getting this because I think it was I had a Jane's. It was like Israeli Air Force simulator, and like how I ended up with these games is like beyond me because like I can't imagine someone buying me this game. But then it's like,
Yeah.
how the hell did I get it? Um, it's a mystery. But yeah, I know for like in the N64 era, like high school. So I remember basically in my bedroom I had a Commodore 64 monitor and I had my Nintendo 64 connected to it. So I my Nintendo was kind of like when I wanted to hide out in my room, I was playing the N64, and like I basically explored every inch of GoldenEye. Uh, Another fun snow day one for me would be the Star Fox 64.
Ooh, yep. And
Yeah.
that's so good because the replayability is off the charts.
Oh yeah. Like I remember trying to get those. I don't know if they're like medallions or something, where you would get like the awards for hitting it, like getting a certain number of kills in a match, and you got like the little medal or whatever it was on the planet. And I just like, and I know there was like a reward if you got a medal on every single planet, and then trying to figure out like which routes go where and that sort of thing. Again, like in a pre-internet day, you're pretty much just relying on
Trial and
uh,
error.
trial and error, and maybe like Nintendo Power
And some
would give you.
playground talk.
Yeah, that's yep.
It's funny, like that was actually a thing because like for in terms of actually like playground stuff, like I remember Pokemon. I was in elementary school when that came out. I'm pretty sure I was in like fourth grade, or at least that's when I can remember it. Like really, like the cards, people trading at recess and stuff, and just like the rumors of missing number, and there's a Mew under the truck by the SSN, and all these other rumors that were swirling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really was a different time with just like trying to figure stuff out. Was really just sort of hearing rumors and testing it out and seeing if it was actually true or not.
I think in all the years I've played the OG Pokemon, I don't know if I've ever actually come across a Mew.
I'm. I think I don't think Mew is in it. Like it isn't like so. I remember that was actually until recently with Pokemon ZA for Switch 2. I had never completed the Pokedex since the original. When I was however old I was, 8 or 9, and really that when you can really hyper focus into a game. And I had all 150, and then I remember using a friend's Game Shark to get the Mew for the 151. Like I don't think you can actually get it naturally.
No, I'm just looking at it. It's Mew is technically in the data, but is only catchable with using a glitch. Like it's not through. You can't find one through normal gameplay. And okay, so that makes a whole lot of sense because I spent a lot of time looking for a Mew in that game and never finding one. I remember the oh yeah, originally Mew was only obtainable via Nintendo promotions or events.
Mm. That makes sense. And that would make sense why like the Game Shark you could get it and it wouldn't bug your system.
Yeah, there was a glitch that would make Mew appear in the grass on Route 24, but that was the only way to like actually get one. It was yeah. Oh man,
Did you ever do the missing number glitch hack, whatever you want to call it?
not even sure what that one is.
Really? Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah, so missing number was you would have to like go and I might not be 100% spot on in this, but you'd like go talk to the guy who like shows you how to catch a Pokemon in the like very first town or like second town. And like you listen to him do his little spiel. Then you need to like fly down to Cinnabar Island and surf right along the coast. There might have been another step in there, but essentially, like for whatever reason, it would like something would glitch out, and then a missing number would show up, and it'd be like a bunch of messed up pixels. And if you like, you didn't want to catch it because if you caught it, it would like I don't know if it was 100%
Oh, it
mess.
corrupts.
Yeah, it would
Eh.
corrupt your file. I don't remember if it was like 100% corruption or if it was just a high percentage to corrupt it. But what was cool about it is like like the 7th or the 11th slot or whatever, like a
Oh,
certain
the
number,
sixth, the
6th,
sixth. Yeah.
yeah, in your inventory, it would just make it infinite. So like people would do the rare candies there. So then you'd go do the glitch, and then all of a sudden you'd have unlimited rare candy, and then you could just power up your squad like, easy peasy, and have just like a bunch of tanks in your in your unit there.
Oh man, I never knew about that one.
That's
That's funny.
crazy. That's like, I remember, because that was one, and then like I remember being so afraid to do it. I'm like, please don't corrupt my file, but I want those rare candies.
Yes, well, that's what it says too. It says yeah, it's funny. You described it exactly because you go to you talk to the old guy in Viridian City. You fly to Cinnabar Island, and then you surf on the eastern shore. You encounter missing number, and then the sixth item in your inventory is multiplied to 128, which is the most you can get. And then it causes temporary graphical glitches, but if you actually catch them, then it'll corrupt your Hall of Fame data and scramble your graphics.
Yeah, and like I said, I remember being like,
Oh, putting a Master Ball in the sixth slot. That would
ooh,
be pretty good too.
oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, not that a million rare candies wouldn't be easy mode also,
Mm.
but yeah, that's funny that you never knew about that, because that was one. Like I said, that was like you learn on the playground, and then like I could literally remember playing that and being like very nervous I was going to screw my game up, but the intrigue, right? Like you're like, but I need to do this, and like you're like, who is this demonic missing number?
Yeah. Yeah, the Mew one was the big one at my school. And yeah, it was he's under the car at
Yeah,
near
that's the
the
sand, right?
SSN.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's you only get like one chance to get him. And yeah, so but no, yeah, nobody. Somebody might have claimed to get him or something, but nobody had proof, obviously. But
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
they were lying.
yeah, they were
They put
like,
the Game Shark in, and then they're like, "Yeah, man, totally. Look at it."
yeah. No, and I always used to use my Master Ball on Mewtwo. That was I always just save it for
Oh, you
Mewtwo.
had to. Yep.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you could use it on one of the legendary birds as well, but yeah, Mewtwo is like nowadays. I think Zapdos is like the coolest. But yeah, like Mewtwo back then was obviously like, oh baby, you needed to get Mewtwo.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying.
yeah, we switched straight off our snow talk here.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I guess like for me, when I think of like N64, I think of playing like Gauntlet Legends a lot,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and that was for me it was like a perfect situation because my brother's a year older than I, or a year, sorry, like 4 years older than I am, and then my directly next door neighbor, they had like two boys, right? Like one was a year older than me, and then one was a year younger than my brother. So we're all more or less like pretty close in age. Like my brother and the older neighbor would hang out, and then I would hang out with the other neighbor. But like we'd all come together and play the crap out of Gauntlet Legends, and it was perfect since we're all right there, and it would be so easy to just play 4 player. But that was, I remember like a couple times with like snow days and just being like, oh man, I'm just gonna level up my guy and like just play the crud out of this game. Oh, dude, Gauntlet Legends so much fun. But yeah, but like I said, I mean, and again, I could even think back to like, still playing Super Nintendo and playing, Mario or Zelda, Link to the Past. But yeah, I really do. I feel like I associate my snow days more with PC gaming. Early on when we first got our computer, my dad got Quake, so I play a lot of Quake as a young boy, uh, which might explain some things. But yeah, Quake was a really great one. I remember playing a lot of. Like I said, we were big into the RTSs. So whether it was StarCraft or Command and Conquer, we were always playing something like that. And then eventually, right, you get on, with the internet was even better because then, especially a snow day, generally you can't travel. Like I said, I had the luxury of having my neighbor, at my age, so we could still hang out during snow days. But to be able to like jump on for people that are a little further away and be like, oh, they're off school too. Like this is
Yeah.
perfect. We're gonna play a bunch of online games. But yeah, no, dude. Snow days. They really it was just really a great feeling. Like for me, like I was just so happy to be like, oh, I could just play games all day, you know. Um, of course, we would go out and play. You know, it wasn't just video games. You know, we would play out in the snow a bunch too. I lived across the street from a train station, so like the big parking lot, they would like shovel. They would plow it all into the corners. So like there would just be like mounds that were like 10 feet tall, and like we would climb on there. We make like snow forts and tunnels in there, which was super fun. And then yeah, then we'd be like, all right, we're cold. It's time to get some hot chocolate and video games in.
Yeah. I remember there'd be days where I would wait until maybe like lunchtime or something, and I would like uh, call one of my parents and be like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna go walk over to Blockbuster." Uh, I remember a couple days that there was that. Sometimes I was told no. As I'm pretty sure I remember my dad yelling at me once, "If it's too snowy for school, it's too snowy to walk to Blockbuster." Um,
I'm surprised Blockbuster was still open. They're
yeah, well,
troopers.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is usually with the snow, like they call it a snow day because at like 7 or 8 in the morning the buses can't go out there, but usually by noon the plow was out, and our Blockbuster didn't open till noon on a regular day anyway. So usually it would be like, unless it was a really bad snow day, they were usually open by the afternoon. So yeah, I would try to get it there because again, pre-internet, like if I wanted a different game, I had to head over to Blockbuster, or in my case, there was right next to Blockbuster was a store called Game Power that rented PC games.
Ooh, that's very nice.
Yeah,
Especially back
and
then, you just burn it.
yeah, well, I remember getting Deus Ex from Game Power on one snow day, and yeah, the no CD hack. Um,
God
so
bless him.
yeah, so I remember playing a lot of Deus Ex. JC Denton working to take out the shadowy Illuminati to save the world or whatever. And I mean, the great thing about that game too was that there was the multiple endings, so so you could like replay the crap out of that game too. So there was a lot of replaying that one.
Yeah, it's funny. We were, so I grew up in my one house until like seventh grade, and then we moved. But that first house I was in, which was the one across the street from the train station, was right down the road. Like it was close to town, so there was actually a video rental place right down the road, which was awesome. But it wasn't a Blockbuster, so like he didn't have games. It was like an independently owned little one, and it was great because the guy was super cool, and it was actually nice. I go in there and like we'd be able to be like, just put it on the account. So we rented tons of movies growing up. We just walk down the street, rent some movies, get some candy. But he never had video games, which sort of well, of course it stunk. So it's funny, like video game rentals were like really not too much a part of my youth and childhood. Like a lot of people, like we like pretty much any time I went to Blockbuster was usually with like someone else. If we were going, like if I was sleeping over at a friend's house, and we'd go to Blockbuster and get a game. But I do remember one was like Yoshi's Story. I really wanted Yoshi's Story, but I'd heard it was so dang short. So I was like, Mom, like instead of buying it, like, can we please just go to Blockbuster and rent this? And like I'll be able to beat it, for the $5 for the couple days or whatever it was. Um, but yeah, that was my. It would have actually probably been real dangerous if we could just go rent video games from JR's down the road. We probably would have put my parents in bankruptcy because, like I said, we would just be like, put it on the account, and he'd be like, sure. And then like eventually, my parents would have to go pay the piper.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. I guess you could still rent from like GameFly, right? I think that's still kicking.
I don't know. Maybe in the U.S. I don't think there's anywhere in Canada that you can rent a video game now.
So yeah, join GameFly today and take on. So, wow, look, 30-day free trial, one rental at a time. Oh, is that like unlimited? Yeah, there's like yeah, $13 gets you. gets you unlimited game and movie rentals. But I feel like that would be good if you just don't care. Like, because I remember always being like, well, I don't want to rent games because like the games I want to rent are going to be new games and you're not going to be able to get them, you know. But
Yeah.
but I guess like if you wanted to play like Mario Galaxies without spending freaking full price for a 20-something-year-old game, you just set up GameFly. Yeah, look, they
Yeah.
got all the new ones. You can get Expedition 33, your favorite.
Actually, what we do, like right now, there's a library down the street from us, and the library actually carries video games. So technically, I can just get them for free, like ones that I don't own.
You should. Yeah, I've heard of different libraries doing that. I don't think the ones I've ever lived near did that, unfortunately.
I
But
feel
that
like
would be
it's a new,
sweet.
yeah, I feel like it's a new thing because I don't. Growing up, I never saw video games at any libraries I was ever at, but now, yeah, like I was in there the other day and was actually kind of surprised that like they got PS5 games, Switch or not. I haven't seen Switch 2 yet, but I've seen Switch games. Um,
They give you the game card or game
yeah, I'm
key.
just, yeah, that'd be funny.
Download
Um,
the 90 gigs file. Here's your key.
yeah, yeah, like surprisingly, like modern games in there. Again, it's one of those things where like uh, because I was thinking about getting Tears of the Kingdom because I didn't want to pay $100 for it because I don't not gonna play it, but I thought like, oh, I'll just take a quick peek, see if it's in the library, and I think there was like 24 reservations on it.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say
the
yeah. Some of these, it'd probably be a lot better for old games. Yeah,
yeah,
to
like if
like
you're
pad
looking
out
to
the back.
explore like some games that you wouldn't necessarily pay money for, but you're just like, oh, I'll give this a 1 week trial and just to see what it's like. But
Yeah, no, I've that's awesome. I know some like like I guess I haven't been to the library in South Carolina too much, but up in New York, ours had like a really great movie selection. Like once my the local video shop I was talking about before it closed down, it was like yeah, you'd go to the library and they like literally like a huge room with like really a really great collection, and they would get a bunch of new ones too. But yeah, the new ones would have a bit of a waiting line. But at least with a movie, it's like generally right. You watch it in one night, you bring it back. It's not like a game where people are going to be holding on to it the entire period that the rental period. But
yeah,
but yeah, no, it's funny too, and I guess like with Game Pass and although whatever the heck Xbox is doing, definitely nice to be able to rent and borrow games and play them easier than we could back in the day. I was reading like something on Reddit too the other I think it was last night, just talking about how like someone was like, someone made a post about like the original Resident Evil, like how did people play this game? And it's like, well, yeah, back in the day, you know, they didn't have all these control options, inverted axis, this, that. It's like you just dealt with what the developers gave you.
yep.
And it was probably one of 4 games you owned. So it was like you were going to play the crap out of it, whether it was annoying or not.
You adapted. It didn't,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it took. You
Yeah, the game
adapted.
didn't bend to your will. You bent to the will of the game.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it is
that's yeah,
funny to
that's
think
definitely a big
like,
problem now.
yeah. No, it's just wild to think like how much crap we put up with just because, it's like that's all we had.
Yeah. There's been games where I've told my son, it's like you need to play this game, and he's like, all right, and then like 15 minutes later I'll come back and he's playing something else, and I'm like, what happened to the game I suggested? He's like, I was boring. It's like, you
Yeah, that
played it for
game
15
sucked, man.
minutes. Like, you can't, you didn't even play long enough. You probably didn't even get through the cutscene. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah,
It didn't jump right into the action. I'm done.
yeah. So it's such a weird. It's funny how just stuff changes so much. Where yeah, like back then, Capcom could just make whatever they wanted, and whatever. Like
You're gonna
if the
enjoy
clothes
these
right,
tank controls whether you like it or
yeah,
not.
yeah. Now you're having to compete with like what's that game on the mobile with where you're cutting up the fruit, like it's just
Oh yeah, Fruit Ninja.
Fruit
Is that what
Ninja.
is that what it's
Yeah,
called? Something like that.
yeah, it's such a like such a Where it's just kind of like mind numbing, slashy slash or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's funny how much things have changed in just such a short period of time. Really, like when you think of, we're talking about the snow days and N64s, and you're like, it wasn't that long ago. Like 20 years is not really that long. Like,
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things.
yeah,
But that's why even like they were saying, the rumors are that like the PS6 was delayed, or like I guess their timeline was pushed back further. But like honestly, dude, like the PS5 could come out in 2030, or PS6, excuse me, come out in 2030, and like okay, it's like my PS5 still looks incredible, and like you guys have like 6 exclusives, so it's like
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like there's plenty more time for that system to marinate. Um, I guess like I think that just over the course of time, like, the jump from N64 to GameCube, or PS1 to PS2 was like, oh, like so mind blowing. You were foaming at the bit once you saw that. Or like if we saw graphics or like what the PS6 is going to look like, it probably looked pretty similar to the PS5. Like, oh, maybe I could see more hair follicles now. Woo! Or like,
well, yeah.
yeah, and it's like, sure, I'm sure they'll get it, but yeah, like everything runs smoother and faster, which is awesome, right? Like that's arguably more important, especially like you said at this point where the jump like graphics wise isn't going to be that crazy, but yeah, it'll be interesting if there's some sort of piece of tech that just somehow changes the game again. But I feel like we've already hit that point, like
Yeah, I think we're as far as we can go. Like, what else? There's no other gains to be met. Like, we're at the point now. Like with the PS5, like you can pretty much get 1080 or 4K gaming at 60 FPS. So like we're pretty much topped out at graphics wise. There's no loading anymore. Like, so it's not like you're trying to gain performance to reduce loading times, because those are gone now. There's no real gains to be made with these. Like, I think we're just at the point. The
we
only
plateaued.
Yeah, I think the plateau too. Like, the only real gains is in the handheld like
Which I
version
like to
where,
hear, baby. Woo!
yeah, like that's really the only gains, is like what can you play on a handheld device. Like that's where we're left off at, I think, at this point, because now, like, we had Switch, which was like, a potato running, and now Switch 2, like, you can actually get like
Dude,
pretty
so,
decent games. So it's like, with Remake, like, we're at the point where these games that could only run on a PS5 are now, they can get them to run on Switch too. So it's like, I don't
dude,
know how
that's
much
so
more games.
nice.
Yeah.
Like, I was so tired of the Switch. Like, oh my good lord, man. Between the drift and just being old and slow, like the Switch 2 has been a godsend. Oh, it's amazing. But yeah, it'll be cool, I guess, in the coming years when Steam Deck releases the Steam Deck 2, and it's a portable PS5 essentially, or close to, with I guess battery life, right, will be big for that, like the
Oh yeah, yeah.
jump
That's
in
another.
battery life. Which is funny. It's like I barely ever like get my Steam Deck down near out of battery. And last night I was playing a crap load of Final Fantasy Tactics, and I got down into the red for the first time in a while. But that's honestly like my gaming, like when I play my Steam Deck, it's in my house. You know what I mean? So it's like I could just easily plug in if it does get to that point. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be like, it's funny to think how long the Switch 1 lasted, and that was an aging piece of tech where, like, yeah, the PS5 is still, I guess there are probably people who are really into the performance, and they're like, yeah, PS5 sucks compared to the PC. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm speaking to one of them now with his new fancy graphics card. Oh, I forgot, like, is it awesome, dude? How's Remake looking, that bad boy?
Oh, the Remake looks incredible. Like, I got there was, so AMD has some pretty neat, like, performance enhancing software where it's like you can turn the frame generation on, and I'm hitting like 120 FPS, and yeah, it just looks incredible. Everything's like, I got all the details like set to high,
Just wait
and
till Costa del Sol, baby. Let's go.
well, it's funny because I was even thinking like, I remember playing remake and things seemed a little bit more detailed, but then I remembered like, oh, they really rebirth is quite a step up from remake, because I remember like remake was built with the PS4 in mind, like it would run
Yeah.
on PS4, I played it on PS5, but I remember it like it was available on PS4, and thinking like, okay, so like when they were working on Rebirth, they knew that it was only going to be on PS5, so they ramped up the details, the fidelity on that one. So it'll be interesting to see at some point. Maybe not this year, or maybe near the end of the year. I guess Rebirth is supposed to come out on Switch at some point this year, but I'm
Well,
thinking it's probably like end of year thing.
it's funny. I literally have this tab up here, and the director says Rebirth 2 information coming very soon for Switch 2. I think it's going to come out this year,
Yeah,
because I obviously the part 3 is not going to be day and date, because I still think that'll be exclusive to PS5, at least for a year or whatever it is. But it makes sense. It's like, get them both out. I mean, Remake sold like gangbusters on Switch 2. Is at the top of the charts digitally, as well as like I've seen a lot of places were sold out in brick and mortar. Um, so it's like finally the Nintendo fans are thirsty for Final Fantasy VII. Finally, I know obviously we got ports of the original, but yeah, I think Seven is just such a popular game. Even if you haven't played a Final Fantasy game in forever, you know it's like, oh, I know Seven's great. I
yeah.
know that's like one of the best. So yeah, no, that'll be cool if it comes out this year. I
It
guess I'll
feels
be
like
playing Rebirth this year.
yeah, it feels like a full circle moment, because obviously, like Final Fantasy VII is when they left Nintendo, and to see remake running on Switch 2 now just feels like, okay, like now they're back, like
Finally.
yeah, like they're finally fully back now, because like there's so many Switch. Well, there's still like obviously a few Square Enix games that aren't on Switch, but that was kind of like the last. I guess there's still Final Fantasy 16 that I'm sure will be on Switch 2 at some point as well, but Final Fantasy 7 remake just felt like kind of like the last exclusive, the last thing that Nintendo didn't get access to, and now it's to have that that particular game running again just seems
Yeah, like you said,
fitting,
yeah,
you know.
a finally moment.
Yeah,
Oh, and it's been so much fun, dude. I'm so glad we're playing it again.
yeah, yeah. We'll see. I I don't know if we know like if there's actual exclusivity agreement, or if it was just because they needed that hardware specifically to achieve like what they wanted. I'm curious if the third one will be multi-platform at launch. Maybe not Xbox, because they probably don't care too much about Xbox, but I wonder if it'll be PC, Switch 2, and PS5 like on launch day. Like, I guess it really depends if there is like an exclusivity agreement with Sony, but if
Maybe
there
it'll be
isn't, you
a
know,
true come to Jesus moment, and they'll say, "Switch to exclusive."
yeah,
Screw you, PlayStation. No,
yeah,
no, I don't know. To me, it just Seven is so tied to the PlayStation brand.
yeah,
Like I would be very, very surprised if there wasn't some sort of exclusivity. I hope not, because I'd love to see it. I mean, I'd still get it on PS5, of course. But I would love, just because I'd love to see crazy huge sales numbers. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah.
off the launch with all the different consoles. But
Well, as a proud new graphics card owner, I would be thrilled to find out that it's coming to Steam on day one.
well,
That
yeah. If it does, then you could finally sell that pesky PS5.
Yeah, it's unfortunately been collecting a lot of dust lately. I haven't played. I can't even remember last time I played PS5, and I know my son has like almost fully embraced PC gaming at this point too, because he's got his own computer. So
Yeah, we play a buttload of Tony Hawk, because my son loves to, he's 2, but he loves to fiddle around on that a little bit. It's funny. I looked the other day; it was like over 200 hours on Tony Hawk 1 and 2. Um, but for me, I'll be in terms of actually playing a full game on it, would be Silent Hill F, which was I think came out in September, and then I've got Resident Evil 9 comes out at the end of this month, so that'll be my next PS5 play. But yeah, really, it's sort of like every couple months a game comes out. Then I'm like, all right, time to bust out the graphics machine, if you will.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Final Fantasy VII Remake, maybe we'll just end the episode with plugging some of the activities we're up to at the Thirsty Mage Discord. So we currently have 2 RPG clubs going on. We have a paced one for SMT Strange Journey. So we're pacing ourselves at about 2 hours. I would say about 2.5 hours a week is the current pace, give or take, depending on your playstyle, I guess. We are, I guess we're about 10 hours into that one. So if you
Still
haven't
time to
joined
catch up.
yeah, you can still catch up. You put a little extra time in if you have it to get caught up. But there's not too much spoiler talk in the Discord for that one. It's mostly appreciation chat, I would say. So you're not going to get spoiled if you want to pop in now. So we got that going on, but then we also got a Final Fantasy VII Remake RPG club going simultaneously. That one is not paced. We're just kind of like, whatever you can do, go ahead. I know personally I guess I've got like 7 or 8 hours into it because I'm in chapter 6. I'm up to the point where I'm in the I think it's reactor 2. It's definitely the second reactor that they're looking to blow up.
I think that in sector 5, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're in sector 5, and the trap was sprung by Shinra. They've been watching me walk into that one the whole time, and now I'm in the section where you sabotage the airbuster mech that's about to attack me. So I'm
throwing the things into the disposal instead of to the mech.
Yep. So I just did that. So the fight awaits me next time I turn on Final Fantasy VII Remake. So
you and me are literally at the same spot. I'm like literally, I could see the airbuster. So like, as I was playing, and I was doing the that sequence where you're sort of trashing all of the or not all of it, but pieces of it to sort of weaken the mech.
Yep.
And it was like midnight, and I was like, I know I could kill this boss, but then I also know there's going to be cutscenes afterwards, and I'm not trying to stay up till 1:30 in the morning right now. So we're literally at pretty much the same spot, and and the best thing is we've got a couple of returning people, but we've got a couple of brand new people, some newbies to the 7 in general. So it's fun to sort of see both perspectives of people who are big fans of the original, and obviously, we're big fans of the remakes, and then getting some fresh perspective from some people who have never jumped into the world. So it pretty fun.
Yeah, just shows you why apparently it's pretty difficult to find a remake game card. I guess those physical cards are sold out from most stores apparently. So.
Yep. That dang old Magic the Gathering booster pack. I think probably pushed some people over the edge.
Yeah. The moving product. That was a pretty clever on their part. So, but yeah, I guess that will probably do it for this week's. Look back down memory lane on the fun snow days of olden times. The pre-internet days, it's like I said, different beast now with networking. Kids are expected to, well, even adults we're all expected to continue working for learning from our homes. So it's not quite what it used to be, but we'll still have the memories of whether it was an official snow day or just a day of hooky, staying home to cuddle up next to the television. So.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still plenty of kids out there playing their Fortnite on a snow day, but
yeah. Yep. But again, I want to thank everyone for listening, and we'll see everyone out at the next Thirsty Age. Bye.
Adios.